So you're thinking about moving to Medina and you're not quite sure if it's really a good time to move, but you also want to kind of know the good, the bad, the pros, the cons, what's really going on in Medina. Well, we're here to act as your strategic partner, kind of help you create that vision, move you into that right mindset and develop a plan that's going to transform your aspirations of homeownership into a reality. So let's get to that right now. Well, first I want to tell you a little story. My first experience in Medina, that was back in 2003. My family and I, we were searching for a house and we wanted to be a little bit away from the main city, enjoy some peace and quiet. But how much peace and quiet are you really going to get when you move into a neighborhood that's full of kids? Well, we ended up getting lost, and luck would have it that we stumbled upon the perfect location by accident. That's where we decided to build our new home. So believe me when I say sometimes getting a little lost can lead you to exactly where you were meant to be. Medina has a unique charm rooted in rich history. Medina has a pretty cool history, actually. It all started back in 1818 when the city was founded. Fun fact, it's named after Medina in modern-day Saudi Arabia, and Medina actually means city in Arabic. The original settlers, led by a guy named Elijah Boardman, they were drawn to the city because of the natural resources. Fertile soil, easy access to waterways. It just made it an ideal spot to settle down in. In the early 1800s, Medina was all about agriculture. Farms were thriving. Industries like milling and distilling really helped the community grow. And then when the railroad came in through the mid-1800s, that was a total game changer. Commerce took off and Medina became an important transportation hub, connecting the area to bigger markets and bigger opportunities. And it's amazing to see how much the city has evolved, from those early roots. Medina has a beautiful historic town square, simply known as the Medina Square. And the iconic location serves as the heart of the city and always has, featuring the famous Medina gazebo. Make sure that you check out and explore the Medina Public Square Historic District and visit the Medina County Historical Society. And that's going to give you a lot more of the storied past and give you more information about Medina's history. Medina is known for its amazing sense of community and rich cultural heritage. The Medina Square is lined with quaint shops, locally owned restaurants, and historical buildings that give the city its charm and character. A stroll through the square is like taking a step back in time, but with all the modern amenities that you could want. It's like a perfect blend of past and present. There's always something fun happening here. Throughout the year, the city hosts all kinds of events and festivals that really bring the people together. Let's see how many I can name without cheating. I might cheat though. You've got the farmer's market with fresh produce, Medina Cars and Coffee. You've got the Kids Day, Teen Fest. You got Ladies Night Out, which is a big one for the ladies. Let's not forget the Medina Ice Festival, Christmas in July, Restaurant Week, Medina Candlelight Walk. These events are just a great way to celebrate the city's history and traditions. During the holiday season, the city really transforms. They light up the gazebo and the square, creating like a magical atmosphere for the community, which I think is really cool. In the summer, it has a popular spot for concerts where bands play, orchestras perform. Oh, fun story. Back in 2011, 2012, I was partnered with a friend of mine and we did a movie night with a 26-foot blow-up screen in the town square. It was huge. It was amazing turnout. Oh, and let's not forget the Medina County Fair, one of the oldest and largest county fairs in the state of Ohio. It actually has a rich and interesting background. You should read about it. For many years, people would come to show their livestock in the public square. So the Medina County Fair is kind of a highlight for residents and visitors every year, and it showcases all the areas of their agricultural roots. If you've never been, it's definitely worth checking out. Just be prepared to eat your weight in fair food. Medina has a thriving arts and music scene, from the Art in the Park, the Southtown's Art and Music Festival with live music and events. Medina really bursts with creative energy, and it's only getting bigger and better from what I see. I've been to many of the outdoor events and enjoyed the concerts and the art vendors and the food. One indoor event you're not going to want to miss is the local performance at the Medina Performing Arts Center. This place is amazing. It's a state-of-the-art facility. It offers a range of performance arts for all the local community and many visitors that come out to Medina. Theater productions, concerts, dance recitals. So if you're a fan of the performing arts, from professional productions to student showcases catering to all ages, you're going to want to check out the Medina Performing Arts Center. So one of the things that you do when you move to a new city is you check out traffic, right? How's the traffic patterns? Where does it get all bogged up? With all these events and the local people and the visitors attending, I have to give it up to Medina for updating the roads, which was a major deal and much needed. They have since fixed all of that with two major projects. And one was the widening of State Route 18 from I-71 to Foot Road. And the second was the road updates on North Court Street, which is US 42 north of the square. And that extends through the main commercial corridor of Medina. Both projects help with increasing the traffic capacity by adding through lanes and turning lanes. So traffic does move more smoothly in Medina for sure. If you're an outdoor enthusiast, you're going to feel right at home in Medina. The city has a few parks, one of them being Lake Medina, which I really like, but I want to make sure that I capture all of Medina County in this one. There are 22 parks and nature preserves that are in Medina County, from wetlands to playgrounds to lakes and forests, and they all offer a different variety of activities. You can hike, go fishing, there's picnicking, there's even bird watching, and you can kayak at a couple of the lakes. Many of the parks do have playgrounds for the kiddos to play. You can also reserve lodges at Buffalo Creek and the lodges at Allerdale for events. There are many open air shelters as well that you can reserve too, maybe for family reunions and birthday parties. The amenities and they're going to vary between each park. One of the biggest parks, the Buckeye Woods, has trails. It's got picnic areas, nice scenic views. You can sit on the park benches and just hang out. You can fish there as well. It's got covered picnic shelters also that you can reserve and kind of hang out for the day with your family and friends and company. Medina's parks are a great place for family, friends, businesses, outdoor enthusiasts to kind of let off that steam. And you can learn about owls. I seen an owl in the tree at Buckeye Woods Park. So apparently they kind of hang out over there in the trees. But I did see one perched way up high in the tree. I thought it was the coolest thing. First time I ever seen an owl in Medina. Oh, then you have 10 miles of mountain bike trails. It's got different degrees of difficulty, and those tracks were actually designed by the Cleveland Area Mountain Bike Association. You have to be careful though, because they do share with some occasional walkers and joggers, so you just got to pay attention to all that. Look, there's no shortage of ways to enjoy the great outdoors in Medina County and Medina. So let's be real. Medina is a great place to live, but no city is going to be perfect, right? It's got a lot to offer, but like anywhere else, there are a lot of things that might not work for everyone. If you're thinking about moving here, it's going to be a good thing to have that full picture, right? Relocation is a big decision, and the more that you know ahead of time, the smoother the transition is going to be. It makes sense, right? So let's talk about what you should keep in mind before making Medina your home. All right, let's talk about the public transportation in Medina, because if you rely on it to get around, this might be something to consider before you make your move here. So here's the deal. Medina doesn't have a big, extensive public transit system like you'd find in major cities. If you need to get around town, you're going to need a car. Now, there's a county-wide demand response service, which is basically a system where you can call, you could schedule a ride for things like shopping or medical appointments or possibly even going to work. But you have to book that in advance, and availability can be hit or miss. So for most people, having a car is just really a necessity. Without one, getting to work, the grocery store, even some of the recreational points that we talked about, I've mentioned above, it can be challenging. There's some good news though. The Medina County Public Transit, MCPT for short, is ADA compliant. So what does that mean for you? They offer reasonable modifications for those who need them. And they also participate in what's called the Elderly and Disabled programs through the Ohio Department of Transportation and Federal Transit Administration. That was a mouthful. I know, right? If you qualify, you can get half price fares for your public transportation. It's definitely worth looking into if you or someone you know could benefit from it and really want to move into Medina with some limitations that they do have. So if you want more details, you can check out the Medina County Board of Disabilities website. They've got all the info that you need on that. If you're looking to be in the nightlife scene, Medina most likely won't be a choice for you as a place to live. Now, don't get me wrong. Medina has a lot of charm, lots of great small venues that the community loves to attend. But if you're looking for a big, bustling nightlife scene, it's not exactly the place for that. There are a few local bars that have live music, karaoke nights, DJs, and of course, plenty of places to catch whatever game you're looking for as an excuse to get out of the house. But for bigger concerts, the higher energy nightlife, you're going to find that you're going to have to head to Cleveland or Akron. If you're into concerts, Cleveland's got some amazing venues. You've got the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse for the arena-sized shows. I've seen Tom Petty there. Then the Agora Theater, which, by the way, was one of my favorite venues. I've been there a couple times to see the Pink Floyd tribute band, Wish You Were Here. An amazing time that we had, and it was a great experience. And plenty of other spots for live music in Cleveland. And if you're a sports fan, you've got the Browns, you got the Cavaliers, the Guardians, you got the Monster Minor League hockey games that you can go watch. That being said, Medina isn't completely quiet when it comes to live music. If you're into country music, you've got to check out the Thirsty Cowboy. Some pretty big country artists come through there over the years, and I've been to a few of them, and it's always been a great time. The city is really working on bringing more entertainment, especially in the summer, between the community events, the festivals, the live performances in the square. I mean, there's definitely some good stuff happening locally in Medina. So yeah, while Medina doesn't have that big city nightlife, you're never too far from great entertainment. Whether you want live music, pro sports, or have fun on a night out, you're not too far of a distance away. Medina's dining options are limited compared to larger cities. So the residents often travel to Cleveland or Akron, which can be an inconvenience for some. But then it does have some great restaurants, so I'm going to throw in a few of them in here, even though we're talking about cons. You have the Timber Lodge Steakhouse, known for their prime rib. You remember when I mentioned Elijah Boardman? Well, him and his son are part of that story, and you can check that out on the Timber Lodge's story on their website. You have the Corkscrew Saloon, another local restaurant in Medina with great food. They do catering. They've got comedy night. It's a really cool atmosphere. Medina has the Farmer's Table restaurant. It's just south of Medina Square. They have locally sourced steak and house-made local fare. That restaurant is also in a historical building, and that old building dates back to 1904 and was the farm supply and feed store in Medina. And there are other restaurants in the area, just not an overly big selection that you would find like in the bigger cities. Shopping in Medina is limited as well. You got 18 shops and boutiques in the square in Medina. Not a lot of shopping in Medina. You have the Eastwood Furniture. They sell Amish-built furniture. They're beautiful, sturdy pieces of furniture, but hold on to your pocketbook on your way in. Gardens Cottage, that specializes in home decorations, which is perfect for Medina. But if you're looking for larger stores, you have to travel to Strongsville, for instance. That's about 20 minutes away north of Medina. That's where the mall is located. You got bigger box stores there. You can head over to Akron to the Summit Mall. That's got the bigger box stores. So it's a give and take living in a small town. And even with the cons, you still find some pros. People always ask me about commuting in Medina, because if you're thinking about moving here, it's definitely something that you're going to need to consider depending on where you're working. If you work locally, you're golden. Traffic around town isn't bad at all since they made some of those roadway updates that we talked about earlier. But for the most part, most of the people that commute, it's just a part of their way of life here in Medina. A lot of Medina residents work in Cleveland, Akron, even Strongsville, which means that you're looking at 30 to 45 minute drive each way depending on where you're headed. There's no commuter train or extensive bus service that like you find in the larger cities. So if you're working outside of Medina, you're going to need a car. That means factoring in gas costs, maintenance costs, and of course, the time you're spending on the road every day. That being said, a lot of people don't mind the drive because they love the balance. Medina gives you that small town charm and that tight-knit community, but you're still close enough to the bigger job markets. If you're considering Medina, just think about where you'll be working and how much time that you're going to be on the road, and it might be a perfect fit for you. Thanks for sticking around, and as promised, here's one of the last pros of living in Medina. It's a big one, and it's about the schools. The Medina City School District is one of the reasons why so many families choose to live here in Medina. According to MedinaOhio.org, the district is home to 7 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and 1 high school serving over 7,000 students. And let's talk about ratings, because Medina schools have a great reputation. Niche.com gives the district an A grade with a 4.3 out of 5 rating based on over 100 reviews. That reflects strong academic performance and a positive experience for both parents and students. It's not just about academics. MedinaBees.org points out that the district puts big emphasis on extracurricular activities, so tons of clubs, sports teams, arts programs help give the students a well-rounded experience. And if you're wondering about individual school ratings, Gradeschools.org gives Granger Elementary a 9 out of 10 and H.G. Blake Elementary an 8 out of 10, so you know the kids are getting a solid education. Whether you have kids now or you're thinking ahead, Medina school system is definitely a big plus to consider when you move here. And with that, we wrap up another reason why Medina is a great place to live. All right, so let's wrap this up with a quick recap of the pros and cons of living in Medina. First, the pros. You've got a rich history. You've got a vibrant cultural scene with festivals and events happening all year round. You've got great outdoor recreational areas, some of the best schools in the area. Of course, no place is perfect. And if you rely on public transportation, Medina might not be ideal since most people depend on their cars. And if you're big on the nightlife or love having tons of dining and shopping options, you might find yourself heading towards like Cleveland or Akron, for more of that variety. And at the end of the day, it really comes down to what you're looking for in a place to live. Hopefully, this gave you a balanced look at what Medina has to offer. And if you have any questions and you want to chat more about what it's like to live here, feel free. My contact information is in the description below.